Greetings, my
Hey sister, how you doing? Did you know that you're beautiful, beautiful? Hey sister, there ain't no choosing. Did you know that you're beautiful,
greetings, Salaam alaikum, namaste, etesem, bawani, and the list goes on. My name is Kai Kwatasia and you are here on the Eyeame channel. Welcome back to our final series of winter wellness. So what better way than to end off the season with an end of year review? I used to do this with my friend, my good sister friend, every year. And we will talk about our highs and lows of the year in order to ensure that the next year we're going to be better, we're going to be smarter, wiser, kinder, softer, sweeter, stronger. Whatever it is that we wanted to manifest in the following cycle, we would review this year. So for today's episode, jokes. For today, actually, you know what? I'm looking at myself and I can see that I look really delicious. I don't normally wear pieces like this. I had this from time ago. So it's not my style anymore, but I thought, you know what, let's look at the end of year party. Let me just bring it out, and the nails to match, little jewel chrome. You know, normally I wear like neutral earth tones. I thought, let me just shock out today. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. So we're doing the end of year review. Sisters, please, in order to get the full access, the full energy of this video, get a pen and paper, yeah? I'm sure you've heard the saying, new year, new me, but we often say that, but we don't actually have any grounds to make those steps become tangible physical goals. So let me show you the technique that I use. First things first, I collect data on myself. That can be certain powerful WhatsApp conversations, bank statements, journal entries, videos, books that I've read, places that I've been, texts that I've had. I collect all that data. I should note that oftentimes this is not like a 2-hour process. So you collect the data, read through your journals, skim through your bank statements, see what you were purchasing, see what foods you were interested in March, see what book you read in May, what concert did you go to last month. And then from that, you can I categorize it. So I categorize it according to month. And I try to understand what lesson, what mindset, what emotional state was I in during those times. And I start to build a progress report. Nonetheless, you categorize and organize the information up, find out your strengths, your weaknesses. From this progress report, essentially, you can find out who you became this year. Were you lazy this year? Did you go really hard this year? What parts of your life do you need to work more on? What parts of your life are actually doing quite well? I think the progress report or the performance card, whatever you want to refer to it as, is really resourceful, because there's been a few years where I felt like, I've not done enough, I've not achieved what I wanted to achieve, when in actual fact, when you have those cards, when you have the information, when you can actually review it, you realize, do you know what? There's actually been some highs here. So sisters, I highly encourage you to write out a progress card to see who you genuinely are. And that way we can make real strides to become the better version of ourselves in year 22, the year of 6. I like to do this by theming my year. So the first year, the first year was the year of fuck off. And that's because I was in college and I was serving others and sabotaging myself. And I had to work on practicing boundaries, saying no, saying no, saying no, saying no. There's been other years since then about give, grow, get. There was a year, I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago, about focus, freedom, fun. This year was to become divine, to become disciplined. And I can't remember the third one, and it's only now that I'm recording this, it's making me think maybe it was only those 2 things that I needed to work on this year, because those components in of itself is a lot. So I've not completely decided what next year's theme is going to be, but I think it's going to be the year of being regal, the year of repair, and the year of ritual. And I'll give you the reasons why. So going back to our performance card, keep in mind I've not done mine yet because I do mine in January, but we're going back to our performance card. I could see the highs, the lows, and the lessons. As a matter of fact, I'll share a few of them with you. I know that one of my lessons have been sometimes being right is not the most important thing at that time. Naturally, I'm quite argumentative. I get it from my dad. I love a good debate. I love, sharing of ideas, even if it becomes fiery, even if it becomes confrontational. But what I've learned this year is that an extension of humility is to realize that the relationship is more important than being right. Sometimes I don't have to, debate someone to the ground. Sometimes it's best to say, do you know what, sis? I hear what you're saying and I love you, and leave it at that. It doesn't have to extend more than that. And I feel like this was such a difficult lesson because I ended up losing someone this year that I loved deeply, still love. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna lie to you, I still love them. And I think there was a way around it looking back in hindsight. So that's a lesson. One of the highs this year is the return of my 16-year-old self. Let me explain. When I was 16, I was the most confident version of myself. I was strong, I was diligent, I was streamlined, I was so focused. And since then, it's been a lot of trial and error, but I've not seen any of my effort manifest in the world the way that I would want it to. But I'm so happy to say that there's been a lot of behind the scenes stuff taking place, and it's evident that that version of myself has returned home, and I am honoured and happy to host her. Finally, a low of this year, 100% is my mind's. It is becoming a detriment to me. Like, I spend time having conversations, playing out scenarios and scenes in my life that are very unlikely to happen. And so what I've been doing so far is when I find myself in a habitual mental trap, I actively say aloud, I choose to have higher thoughts, or I no longer want to engage in this conversation. Or I've even started this week actually saying what it is that I'm doing. I'm getting ready for work. Let me get my purse. Let me get my charger. So one of the ways is I plan on going therapy, inshallah, and my money can stretch that far next year. And I really want to get into meditation, not 10-15 minutes, but deep meditation, without music, without assistance, without instrumentals. I want to be in control of my mind. So now that I've shared all of that, let me try to link them and merge them and make it be understandable. So my low, I'll be working through that with repairing my mental state, being able to claim back my mindset and have some control over those countless thoughts that bombard me. My high, being the younger version of myself that I'm so happy has returned, I will be linking that with ritual, being consistent, formulating rituals, formulating routines, every day waking up at 6 a.m, 5:30 a.m, every day doing this, doing that, doing this, to ensure that that hard work effort is connected to consistency, and inshallah the equation will hopefully be manifestation of things that I am requesting in the world. And then the lesson being that sometimes it's okay not to be right, or not fighting to be right in order to honor and maintain the relationship, is in reference to regality, knowing when to say things, how to say things, how to fully read the room, how to use certain energies to work for me, things that are working in my nature, things that are naturally of benefit to me, learning to utilize that. But also I want to focus on being physically regal, on being femininely regal. I don't know what it is. It's like a dying archetype. Back in the day, women were so sophisticated, so sweet, so eloquent, so graceful. You didn't know what it was that you liked about them. I feel like I was born in the wrong generation. Everything is skin out, everything is exposed. There's no secrecy, there's no... I don't know, is it just me? I don't know if it's just me, but I want to be that type of woman. When I was younger, I remember wanting to be the type of woman that when she enters the room, women look, men look, children look. I really want to embody being a full-time goddess. And it's kind of in correlation with how old I'm going to become and that particular cycle. I think regality is really, really, really important. So that is the theme. Regal, repair, care and ritual. I'm going to create small tasks that I can do consistently to ensure that I get there and that I fulfill those roles by the end of 2022. Now, sisters, the work is here. The work is available. Here is my Eyeame offering to you. I've shown you step by step how you can do it. Of course, by all means, add your own touches, put your own flair on it, put your own spin and own flavor on it. Do what you normally do to ensure that next year is the best for you. Now, with that, I forgot to mention in the introduction, how are we feeling today? So let's just give us a 5-second review, a 5-second body scan of how we're feeling today. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, I am on my cycle. I am really tired. I have noticed the amount of energy that I have in the beginning of November in comparison to now. And so with that being said, I am taking a month off, especially as my birthday is coming up. I want to take some time to really do that work and rest. I really need to rest. So I will be coming back in February with a love/Valentine's series. We're going to talk about virginity, dating, online dating, relationships, the lessons that we've learned from love. I'm going to have a few people on. It's going to be absolutely divine. So I ask you, what has been the lessons of this year? What has been the highs of this year? What has been the lows of this year? What have you learned? What cycles have you seen yourself go through? As I just said cycles, I'm going to drop the link below. Please, if you're into astrology, please download the app, The Pattern and The Human Design. They have been excellent, like absolutely spot on. Just wanted to add that in there. I hope that this year has been everything that you needed it to be. If it's been a hard year, I hope that you've learned lessons through it. I hope you've watched my video about the law of gratitude and maybe you can find some tips there. I wish you, sisters, brothers, family, friends, anybody that comes across this, I wish you everything that you want in 2022. So with that being said, bless up, blessings. I hope to see you in 2022 during our Valentine's series, and Eyeame in everything.